2 days ago for the first time.
We were
I like
there
the old
yesterday.
location a lot
Couldn't
better.
couldn't get in and out at all.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you got one single door, so going in and out is the same hitting people. But before
All
you
right,
go
now
in,
we're live.
Are you sure?
Hey,
Oh,
welcome
yeah.
to Facebook crowd. Just figured it out.
Yeah, I do this every time where I'm trying to share it.
Let's see. Red glare is on.
Okay, let's see it.
They're on Instagram.
Zoom the post on Facebook.
Want me to do a repeat?
Come sit down.
I got
will.
both.
You do?
I got Instagram and Facebook on.
Very nice. You know what?
And it's still doing the closed captioning thing, which I like.
Whoops.
It's good for people who can't hear.
Or people who can't read really good because it doesn't really. All right. All right, we're back on number 7 or 8 podcast, right?
Yep.
One. You have to go through the whole thing.
All right, introduce yourself. Tell them what's going on.
We'll reload this. Okay. I'm Command Sergeant Major Newt Wick, U.S. Army, 42 and a half years, retired. I ride with and I'm a member of the board for Rolling Thunder, Chapter 1 of Illinois. And we're here to talk about veterans assistance programs, taking care of veterans in all organizations and even in businesses that we see veterans struggling in. And supporting the Gun Barrel Coffee, one of my favorites.
Awesome.
Do I have to introduce myself?
Yes, Katie has to introduce herself. Although people know you already.
I'm Katie. I'm here every week. I'm brand ambassador for Gun Barrel.
Good afternoon. My name is Tim Kearney. I'm a civilian. Also, ditto what Newt said in regards to Rolling Thunder. I have 2 active duty sailors, a daughter and a son.
So tell people more about Rolling Thunder, what it does.
Well, now you mentioned that.
That'll take up the whole time.
That's all right. It's important.
And not to get tongue-tied, I'm going to just read our mission. Our mission and/or major function of Rolling Thunder, and this is national, not just Illinois, is to publicize the POW and MIA issue, to educate the public that many American prisoners of war were left behind after all previous wars, and to help correct the past and to protect the future veterans from being left behind should they become prisoners of war or missing in action. We are also dedicated and committed to helping American veterans from all wars in all branches. And that's our mission statement. We have shelters. We also, all our fundraisers, in fact, with the COVID virus and pandemic, we're down to 2 fundraisers this year, and they've been canceled. But our money goes to help the homeless veterans, to help the LaSalle Veterans Home, to help the Mantino Veterans Home. The Heinz VA, we dedicate a lot of clothing, socks, food, not food, but little utensils of toothpaste, toothbrushes, what have you. The Concord Place for homeless veterans. We outfit rooms there with all the furniture. So if they get a veteran there that takes over a room, we buy the furniture for them, fit it up, put the bed in there, the table, the chair. We don't buy the TV, but we outfit it out so they have a room and a place to stay and they feel good there. POW and MIA issues, whatever it is, we're all over to assist and help out with that. Honor flights, we do honor flights. In fact, they've been canceled this year due to the pandemic. However, we have escort missions for that, and we ride with Patriot Guard to go to and from these honor flights. The various VFW and American Legion and troop support chapters, we support the National Guard. We support all branches of the U.S. military and law enforcement and firefighters and first responders. We try to help all those communities. Veterans programs, Veterans Assistance Program, and the Crisis Hotline, which is, suicide awareness. I have many firsthand cases on that. We help veterans out on the Veterans Assistance Program through finances of housing, help them out. If they can't make a bridge through a lease or something like that because they lost their job or they've been furloughed. And, we're not an open pocketbook. We're their last chance after they go through state, but we're there to help them out. It would be continuous up to 3 months, no, but we're there to get them back on their feet. If we had to buy a car or get the car fixed, an older car, we do that. We look at each case by case, and we vote on it as a board, and we have our guidelines for it. So that's what basically Rolling Thunder is. I've been on the board for the last 5 years, and my renewal is coming up. So if you want to join, come on out and join Rolling Thunder. You do not have to ride a motorcycle. You just have to be dedicated to help your fellow veterans. Thank you.
And to that point, as I alluded to, I'm a civilian. You don't have to be a veteran. You just have to be dedicated to the cause of POW MIA. Come to the meetings, come to several events a year, and be actively involved in the organization. You might notate on all of those wonderful things that we help cause. How much has our chapter raised over the last few years?
The total of the last
5 years?
5 years is we've spent on all those categories I listed before $672,900. So we are 100% volunteer, and 98.2 cents out of every dollar goes right to the veterans programs or helping veterans out. The only, the 1.8% or pennies is for if we have to print paper or get advertisement done or something like that. So that's what we're all about. And again, everybody's welcome to help out. You just have to have a heart and have a drive and want to help out your fellows.
And as Newt said, we're Illinois. There's actually 3 chapters in Illinois. We're members of Illinois Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is up in the Wakanda area, and then we've got Chapter 3 in Central Illinois, and we're also trying to establish another chapter in Southern Illinois.
Very nice.
So how do they get in touch with you guys? How do they find you if they do want to join?
You're leading right into it. That's
That's what I'm here for, man.
That's our first time.
I'm sorry, I gotta apologize. Once you give the command sergeant major a venue to talk, they'll talk on forever. So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let Tim tell you where to go.
No, yeah, that leave it open-ended. Rolling Thunder, Illinois, P.O. Box 1042, Warrenville, Illinois. Email is rollingthunderillinois1@gmail.com. You can also find us at Rolling Thunder, Illinois, Chapter 1. In there, you'll see all of the venues. You'll see when our meetings are held, how to join, et cetera, et cetera. And if anybody's concerned about dollars, it costs an entire $30 a year to become a member of Rolling Thunder.
Awesome. We'll post those links and stuff on this post after when we repost videos.
Thanks.
Take a look there.
Thank you.
Obviously, you guys do an awesome cause. So
I have a question. So I do a lot of homeless ministry. I've done it for 5 years. And so what do you allow for donations? Or do you guys take it upon yourselves to find those and purchase those? Like, if people donate furniture and clothing and...
And that's a great question. What we have done in the past, when people want to donate furniture, we look for the shelters, the Midwest shelters, the Sal Veterans Home. A lot of them we push them up to and help them there. As for the Concord place, we actually go out and buy it. But we do have a member that works in a furniture company. So whatever we get donated and say, well, this is for furniture, if they say the money's for that, we then funnel through him because he obviously gives us a great price, but he also is doing it for a cause. As far as donating furniture, we don't have facilities to store it. We don't have one of those pods, portable on demand. But so we try to then redirect them to organizations that do need it. And there's plenty of veterans that have sparse fittings in their apartments and homes, and if we have their names, we point them towards them to receive this stuff.
Oh, okay.
And we try to find a way to coordinate the two and get the furniture to them, and maybe even find somebody to volunteer to pick it up with their truck and get it delivered to them. So again, whatever we can do to help our vets.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So what do you guys do for the prisoners of war, the missing in action? What do you guys do on that side?
We keep the awareness out there. Of course, in the last few years, we used to have the bulletin boards up and down the highways. You probably saw it on 88 and 90 and in towards the city. We haven't done that so much. I mean, we were really active, and like it or not, with Bo Bergdog. He was a POW. He was an American soldier held by the Taliban. Politics aside, all we cared about was getting him back home. Every American needs to come back home. What the politics is and what played out afterwards, is not my business, okay? But anytime, in being a command sergeant major, I had 1,500 troops in Afghanistan. If I would have lost one, and left them behind, I would have had to answer for it. It would have weighed heavy. So, so we try to keep the awareness out there to let know that people a lot were treated harshly coming back from Vietnam and all previous wars. We want to try to not have that happen any further, and we want to let people know that we still have we support the federal organizations of MIA, POW, mostly MIA, where they go to the islands in the Pacific and find bones and stuff and ship them back, and then we support the money for them to find out by DNA transfer who the family was,
That's awesome.
in case there's no dog tags.
Wow.
So we do that. We have tie-ins to therapy dogs. We have tie-ins to, like I said, the biggest one is suicide, and that comes close to my heart in a lot of ways. So once I hear a scenario of somebody's having a hard time and all of a sudden they have PTS, and it's called PTS, it's not PTSD. I'm sorry. So the new directive is it's not a disorder, it's a syndrome. So disorder makes people look like they're a defective or a deficiency. The proper thing is just PTS. And if they have it, anything, I was at an event this past Saturday, Friday night, at an infantry unit, and some fireworks were going off, and all of a sudden you see guys, started getting a sweat and shaking. It happens. That's their trigger. So we try to reach out and provide all avenues and contact and numbers should anybody contact and say, hey, I need this. And that's what we're all about.
And I find it amazing how many people don't really understand how many MIAs there are, including veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So now when we're putting together a POW MIA chair, the most recent one we did was at Fox River Harley-Davidson in St. Charles, we actually put together a backing for the chair that actually lists how many MIAs there are by state since World War I. That number is in excess of 82,000.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, it's over. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It's over 90,000, and the reason why we started with World War I is that's when the government actually started keeping track. In Spanish-American War, Civil War, and all the little brush fires before that, they did not. So we actually have better records by the government from World War I on, and that's why the chair has it.
And Illinois is actually number 4 in the states.
Wow.
We've got in excess of 45,000 MIAs here in Illinois. And the thing to think about, even though obviously most of those have passed, those families have never gotten closure. And so if we can find information on a World War I MIA and help that family get closure, know where grandpa, great-grandpa ended up, it really goes a long way. I've personally been involved in a couple of those, and I got to tell you, the tears are rolling when you're talking to the family of one that we found after
Can't
decades.
imagine. Right.
Are they still finding bones from World War
Yes, actually, you bring up a lot of good points. There's again, we try to look at agnostic about soldiers from all countries. We defeated a lot of enemies and what have you, but in World War I, in the fields of France and east towards Russia, Poland, and Germany, those countries are still digging up and finding. So an example, in France, they're rerouting a road, and it happened to go through one of these battlefields that was very big in World War I, and they found a bunch of bones 10 feet down. Well, then they realized, looking at old maps, that it was a trench system. So then they had to stop all their construction. They had to bring out both countries, because Germany has a vested interest, so does France or whatever country, Belgium at the time. And they started looking at them and looking at the bones and looking at the maps and seeing what units were there, and then they had to try to identify them. So yes, and they want to put them in a veteran cemetery, regardless of what nationality. They try to put them in a veteran cemetery to honor them, because that was their honor. They're out there for the country.
Perfect.
I? Yeah.
Is there like a national catalog that has like missing soldiers and a way to DNA match them to their families?
There is a national registry. I do not have that website memorized. Put that down. I'll go look it up and let you know. But the DNA thing is kind of tough, and I don't know the answer to that question. The government usually handles all DNA stuff. But Once they do find bones, I do know the countries involved, U.S. in the Pacific Rim, or Japan, whatever, Philippines, Malaysia, they will bring in groups and they will do forensic evaluation on it with forensic doctors,
Yeah.
I guess is what they're called. And it takes a while, but they will find out who it is.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing not just scoop up the bones and dump them somewhere else, right? That's awesome. What a great honor.
So I know you're all done, tired, listening to me. Take a breath and they can talk.
Everybody hearing us all right out there? That's
If not, wave your hand. Oh, there.
wave your own hand.
Sergeant Majors have a humor too.
Once in a while.
Yeah. Otherwise, you got to do 20.
I know while you're looking at that, I was personally involved with a sailor from the Oklahoma. He was actually petty officer, second class radio man on the Oklahoma, and he was killed in the first 15 minutes of Pearl. And he's actually buried here in Batavia now, and was involved in that process of help bringing him back home to the family. And I'm getting goosebumps
Oh my
right
gosh,
now.
I know, I am too.
Just talking about it, but his family had lost their farm during the 30s and had moved from South Dakota to Aurora. He ended up coming back here to the Tri-Cities on leave, and unfortunately he was on the Oklahoma when the Japanese attacked. 75 years later, we were able to bring him home to the family. Oldest living relative was a nephew named after him, who was born in '46. Obviously,
Wow.
Nobody actually knew him, but we had 30 relatives there, and the emotions. I can't even talk about it. It's
I can't
just-
imagine.
Had to be amazing closure for them after so long. So.
It was absolutely awesome.
Yeah. And then do you guys do anything in regards to like when, for example, most recently in the news, when soldiers go missing and they're here?
What was the question?
When they're-
Missing
No,
soldiers here.
I think the one down in Fort Hood.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
two
yes.
that were-
Well, again, we do not, to my knowledge, only
CID.
because that's done by the civil authorities, law enforcement authorities, and the base post. Can we strongly urge our national to do something? We could, but they have to vote on it and see what's right. That's not part of our mission. And, that is political, and we don't dabble in any active military affairs of any branch or service. So, I mean, do we have probably thoughts and concerns for that? Absolutely. I have my own opinion, and I'll keep it to myself. But
I know, I'm like, I'm not going to say anything about it.
but we do not actively partake in, unless they were asking for volunteers. That would be on an individual basis. So
Right.
if it was a post here and they needed volunteers to search for somebody, and I was part of the chapter, I would volunteer, but I wouldn't be representing the chapter doing it.
Right.
Hope that answers the question.
It
Had a
does.
long way to
It
get around to
does.
it.
We're like,
It's a
well, if we
tough- it's a
could,
tough
but we're not
question,
going
yeah.
to.
I'm sure there's a number of us that would get actively involved in the search.
Yeah.
How about the annual Rolling Thunder ride in Washington D.C.? Are they still doing that? I mean,
Last year was the last one. We actually filled 4 parking lots at the Pentagon. We had 1.4 million motorcycles. It was the first time I'd had the opportunity to get there, and it was just absolutely amazing. We rolled out at a parking lot at 12:15 hours. The last bikes rolled out at 1900.
Oh, wow.
And it's 4 bikes, boom, 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 boom. AMVETS has taken that over this year. What our national has done is asked us to put together rides state by state. What we had planned was working with Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, I believe, Newt.
Yes, we
And-
have.
and-
We've been working. Ohio was leading this venture, or this first time when they made it go down to the states or regions, and then a lot of the surrounding states said, "Okay, well, if you're organizing it and you have this event plan, we'll tag in with you." just to see how it's go. I mean, because before National took care of it, so now all the individual chapters have to step forward and learn from mistakes, on how to do it, so.
What is the next event you guys have coming up?
We're actually, well,
Next year.
what's scheduled, well, the national one is next year. We were doing it Memorial Day weekend. All 3 Illinois chapters were gonna meet and ride into Ohio together. Unfortunately, it got canceled. We do have our chapter ride still scheduled, August 30th out of Fox River Harley Davidson.
No, it's not, it's canceled.
It is canceled
Yeah,
now?
so, sorry to belay what he just said.
Well, that's
He owes me 20, he owes you guys 20. He gave me bad
Tim will
information.
be out there riding Saturday.
Our-
Come meet
our-
him. Come ride with him.
We do a Big Thunder run yearly to, again, raffle off prizes and baskets and stuff. And that money, again, goes into our Veterans Assistance Program. So that's the only fundraiser we have besides something called a gun bash. And we sell raffle tickets to that. And that's all the monies we get. We try to get money from the state and what have you. But anyway, it was supposed to be August 30th this year with Fox River Harley Davidson. They were kind to partner up with us, let us use their facility, the road captains and what have you. But unfortunately, well, your road captains, Bad Santa's road captains. But unfortunately, with the decree in the State of the Union of the state, it is not allowed, and Fox River will not be hosting that. So we're not doing it. So the actual ride is not going to happen this year.
one less thing for my road captains to do this year.
But people can still donate towards that for next year or participate.
They can always participate. We're always looking for riders. All are welcome to ride in that raid. It is escorted. Last year was the first year that we did it out of Fox River. We had Kane County Sheriff's Department that helps escort the ride, and then I'm the director of the Harley Owners Group out of Fox River Harley. All my road captains help block in accordance with the county sheriff, so it's a very safe ride. So hopefully 2021 we'll be able to do it again, and please come out and support us. All the money goes to fund everything that we have.
And we usually have 1 or 2 live bands, and we have vendors, and the vendors are there selling jewelry, leather, shirts. These guys are one of our vendors, our value-added vendors. There's other ones, and they're usually local around the Tri-Cities region and maybe right up at the border. But it's usually motorcycle type items, garments, and stuff. But we have other ones. We have the Tiger, the insurance, motorcycle Tiger,
Law Tigers.
Law Tigers and stuff. So we have a lot of different ones coming up, and we invite them. The vendors come out and share it, and it's usually just a good casual time listening to some music. So
With coronavirus, are you guys not doing the Rolling Thunder meetings at this time?
that's very good. Tim's Bad Santa's no longer on board. I still am. We have been doing them
I'm
via
retired.
Zoom meetings, and actually next month, August, is our first in-person meeting, and we're doing it at the Warrenville VFW outside, maybe inside, but outside they have a pavilion, so we can have social distancing, 6 feet like they require, and also if we do it inside, we have enough tables and chairs that we put these round tables out, and you only put 3 chairs to a table, so everybody will have it. But next month is our first actual
February?
in-face in August.
No, since February.
Oh yes, since February.
Well, come, if you're inclined, come out to the meeting and you're welcome to sit in and see what we do and how we do it and see if it's a fit for you.
Got a question out there. Adam Caballero is asking, are there any chapters in Texas that you guys know of?
There are multiple chapters in Texas.
Yeah, there are over 50-some chapters nationwide, and national is out east. But like Tim alluded to, we have 3 in Illinois, and the 3rd one's out by Peoria, and the 4th one is trying to get certified in the acceptance by national for having 4 chapters in Illinois. And again, states that are very populous and have access and roads and people that like to ride, again, you don't need a motorcycle. You just need to drive. So if you have a passion for helping out veterans and military organizations, and you have the knowledge of how to do a fundraiser and how to be organized, help us out.
That is for sure Adam. Adam was actually just stepped down. He organized the other 23, which is for veterans with PTS or that have incurred any kind of like trauma, traumatic experience, brain injuries, just in general. He does surfing with them in Texas.
Well, thank you very much, Adam. God bless you.
Yes,
Yeah.
Now, can it be any type of bike?
any kind of bike.
Like
Well,
a
except for swing 10
You know,
speed.
you might have to pull real hard to keep up.
If it's a 50 mile round trip,
I never
Let's
finished
see how
swing
it.
fast
10 speed, you might come in a little late. We might be done and the band going, but they can be any type of bike. Trike, cars. Cars are welcome too.
Yep.
I ride a chopper, but I've been looking after all my knee surgeries, being in the military so long, of getting a slingshot or a T-Rex so I can go in style.
Well, maybe you can ride on the back of names.
Yeah.
Now, what's a T-Rex?
So it's like a slingshot.
It's like
faster.
A T-Rex is made in Can-Am, and a slingshot is made by Polaris. It's a reverse trike type thing,
Yeah.
not like the Can-Am, but where you have 2 seats and sit down.
T-Rex came out many years before the slingshot did.
Yes.
It's got
It
a
is hell to
Suzuki-
get old, you
The
know.
time it had Suzuki, the 1400 Hayabusa engine in it, super
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
But they're like 60, 70 already.
Yeah, they're more than a
Right, well,
they're more than a vet. So I mean,
Yeah.
The slingshot.
So we can just tell it for a long
yeah, you can always shoot high, right?
Yeah.
And when your shot falls low, you just adjust higher, right?
I know, I always get invited to go to bike rides, but I don't own a bike, and I'm too short, and bikes are too heavy, so I can't, like, sit on one and hold it up and all that stuff, so I never go.
Let me know in advance,
Well,
and I'll
and-
make room for you.
Yeah.
You bring up a great thing. Some people want to participate if we know ahead,
Yep.
and people are, obviously you want to get with a good rider, and your concerns would be if you have to drink or whatever. But we do have people that say, if I can find a person that will allow me to ride on the back,
Yep.
I would like to go along, just experience it, because
Yeah.
your tandem or whatever staggered, you do the ride, you got. And if it's a good day, it's great. If it's raining, I'm not riding. I'm a fair weather rider, I'll tell you that.
That's not true. Every gun bash we've done so far, it's rained.
rained.
You gotta ride
Yeah, but
home in
during the
rain.
gun bash, we're not
Yes.
riding.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, the
Oh,
gun bashes are in the rain.
Right,
Although
right.
I
Both of you
the
were
last
done.
two times I brought my chopper out, it rained on me. I got stuck in it.
Well, and I brought the Navy Tribute bike in.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they're both sitting there in the pouring rain.
Yeah.
I got caught in 4 rainstorms the last 2 weekends, so,
Oh,
Oh,
it is what it is. But we have plenty of people that. if you
Quit
give us a
complaining
bad
about
news-
water. Some people out there don't have water on their plants.
No. I didn't complain. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
we have too much water lately in Illinois. Illinois needs to chill out a little bit with the rain.
Right. It's just nice that it's nice out. It's been nice the last 3 weeks, so God bless, right? In 2 months we'll be bitching about how cold it is, so.
This is
Yeah,
true.
you won't hear me doing that. I like the hot.
I like hot weather too. I hate cold.
I'm more
I like it all.
fall.
I like 4 seasons. I'm from the Midwest. I like 4 seasons. I'll get bored with 1 season if it's too long. I want to go to the next one.
I'm Arizona bound.
Yeah.
Then you only have 2 seasons.
I'll tell you,
Hot and really hot.
in Afghanistan, you only have 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Actually,
in Iraq.
actually, northern Arizona has way more snow than we have. here,
Really?
So, yeah.
I just want to
2
never
hour
show
ride,
it.
I can go.
If you dress warm for it, or you look at it as fun. I've
No.
Yeah, winter sucks.
no, it doesn't.
It sucks, just straight up sucks.
Or northern people listening, no, it doesn't.
Horrible.
Just go out and do it. Knock it out.
Oh, that's
Come
good.
back in.
I feel like it's pre-hell. So you get to experience this now, so you have an idea what hell's gonna be like. This is practice for hell. So
Shoveling
in hell,
snow is
Midwesterners are like no problem in hell.
Shoveling snow is easy. Shoveling sand is hard.
I don't,
Yeah, it keeps coming back into the
Yeah, but that's for the young people to do.
Yeah.
What's the gun bash? Is there literal guns there? 'Cause I can tell.
Well,
Well,
okay.
there will be, yes.
We partner with right now down in Plano, Illinois, RKA Guns, and we get a list of guns that the board votes on that we feel that people could use. Shotguns, 22s, some small caliber pistols, whatever seems to be what they move. They advise us that people are coming in looking for this, and we put the money up for 28 guns. And in the 2 hours?
Yeah, a couple hours.
We raffle every 6 minutes off a gun. And there's 28 guns. We only sell 600 tickets, so you have a chance in 1 in 24, is it?
Right.
or something like
1 in
that.
20, yep.
1 in 20 chances of winning. And the thing is about the ticket,
Chase are better.
it goes back in the hopper. So you can win multiple times. Now, if you win 5 guns and I win none, or somebody else wins none, we're coming after you. You know, they're not gonna say, "Hey, something's rigged." But
Well-
you can win theoretically if you got lucky and you know the person upstairs or whoever's looking at you is giving you all the luck in the world. You could win all 28. But I think the most that's ever been won is like 3.
Yeah, we've
And,
won on a single ticket.
On a single ticket. But again, we wrap one off every 6 minutes. We pull the coupon, so I guess that'd be over an hour, 2 hours.
Couple hours.
But the money raised from that, you know, pays off the gun, and then whatever's left, we put back into our funds to help out veterans and the POW. And all our funds are dedicated towards that. Again, like I said, it's 98.2 cents or something. It's on our website. In fact, it should be on almost all the Rolling Thunder websites around the country of where the money goes and how much is spent to veterans and our what we drive for.
And a couple of notes to add to that, we do some side raffles where we'll do some concealed carry guns. We'll also do ammo raffles where we'll have 3-4 different calibers and you can pick which one you want. Obviously, if you're getting 22, you're going to get a lot less than you are 45. But we have those opportunities. And the other thing that's really cool is if you win a gun and say, I've already got that gun or don't like it, you can actually trade it in for value at RKA towards the purchase of
Yeah,
another gun.
and to answer your question directly, they have guns out there changed up to show you what they
Right.
look like.
Yeah.
But again, you don't get the gun. You get a preloaded card with the value of the gun at the time we bought it. So if the gun is worth $480, you go to RKA, you sign it, you show them your FOID. You have to have your FOID.
Right.
You can't pick it up without a FOID, and you can't pick it up without being a person. And they'll give you that card. Now, well, I mean, you got to show your ID. You got to
Well,
be that
I can send
person.
my dog down to pick up the gun. Like,
And you've also got to be cognizant of the fact now it's 72 hours
Correct.
for
Yes,
that's interesting, yes.
any gun
Yes.
to pick it up.
That's
So
just
you've got to go
long
down there and do the paperwork and then come back in 72 hours to pick up the
So they have some for display purposes, but you don't get to pick it up and walk off. So,
Just leave there with an armful of guns.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Go
But
back
a lot-
on,
a
go
lot of
background check.
people-
That's
Yeah.
the best part of this whole thing is just all under the table guns.
How
So
many
if you
can I
need to,
carry?
so you need to commit a murder, this is the best time to go get a gun.
you know, but what works out for RKA is when they go down to the candy store to pick up their card, they're a kid in the candy store and they say, well, you know, I don't want this. Let me use this, and they usually buy next level up or something.
Upgrade a little bit. Right. What's the one you want to get?
The Ruger Precision.
Ruger Precision. Yes.
Well, we all have our want list, the top 10.
Oh, I was confident to win it last year at the raffle when I did that.
There's always next.
It's always it was the last gun, right? That you gave away. So I'm like, it's okay if I don't win any of the early ones. I don't want to win. I want to wait for the end, so I win that gun.
I've yet to win one. So.
And when you do it in person, the side raffles, like you said, are usually concealed carry, small caliber weapons. But the big things they do for that is they go and get ammunition.
Right.
Because if you're an average shooter, target shooting, whatever, plinker, you can never have enough ammunition out there.
No. It's kind of hard to find ammo now.
I know, because everybody went crazy over toilet paper and rioting.
Yeah,
now
So
there's-
we got to go get our bullets.
There's the only thing left to go hoard, right? Couldn't get toilet paper, so
That'd be like the last thing I would hoard. That'd be the very last thing. I
Toilet
would
paper
hoard.
ammo.
Yeah, toilet paper.
not if everybody else is
I'd
hoarding
pick
it.
ammo over toilet paper.
As long as you got bed sheets or clothes, you can always wipe your
There's
ass.
grass out there.
There's a
You
river.
just, you just take a
It's a
shower.
Fox River. You just get
For
out
your
there and
veterans
rinse.
out there, you know what MREs are and C-rats, you know how to use the toilet paper. I'm not going to go into tearing a little square off.
One square at a time.
A little triangle off.
Little triangle.
One square around.
Finger?
Yep. And that's where underneath the fingernail.
Yep.
Oh.
My dad told me that's what fingernails are for. To get the clean.
You know, I incriminated myself enough already.
I'm in trouble.
Oh.
So, Newt, when did you go into the Army? I know you said
I signed up, swore
Stone Age.
and signed up on the dotted line November 28th, 1975. I was in the delayed entry. I was in a engineer guard unit in Iowa, in Dubuque. And a month and a half later, I went over to the regular Army and signed up regular Army, and the Guard released me, but I still delayed entry. And I signed up at the time, and you could sign up directly into the Special Forces, and I signed up into the 5th Group at Fort Bragg. And I hit the ground June of 1976, and I haven't been out until I had to retire at age 60 in 2018 on my 60th birthday. My last unit was, I was a Command Sergeant Major running one station unit training for engineer down at Fort Leonard. I ran one station unit training infantry down at Fort Benning as a first sergeant as Command Sergeant Major. I had a division of the 86th Training Division, the Blackhawks, up at Fort McCoy, when they stood that brigade up to a division. I've had a lot of different units. So I have a unit coin, and on it, well, I made my own coin. I designed 12 in my career, and I made my own retirement coin. And on the back, it has the 12 unit patches that I served in, and it has 42 stars, one for each year. So
It's gorgeous.
why I did it? Well, you know, being my first name is Newt, like Newt Rockney. The police don't forget that too easy. So they said, you know, you can either go in the military, or you hang around till you turn old. No, I was joking. So I was looking to better myself. Growing up in Iowa, the GI Bill was good post-Vietnam. Vietnam failed. Saigon fell the summer of '75. And like I said, I signed up 4 months later. And when I got out, I used my GI Bill and stayed in the military because right after I got out, literally maybe a month later, they took our embassy in Tehran. I said, well, I want to stay back in. So I went back into an infantry guard unit. And from there to the 12th Group Special Forces, to back to the infantry unit, then to a reserve unit. And from 95 till 2018, I've been in the reserves. But as you go up in rank, it's not 1 week in a month. It's 2, and as Command Sergeant Major, it's 3 weekends a month because you have units all over, spread out. Where the Guard is centric around usually a community or city, and the reserve is all over, units all over. So my last big reserve unit was at Camp Pendleton. So we actually have Army engineers at Camp Pendleton, Marine Corps Mecca, and they, you know, you walk out, and there's 200 meters out, and you see the Pelicans, and you see the beach, and you know, the Marine Sergeant Major say, hey, Sergeant Major, we want this turf here on this building. Say, yeah, no, we were here first, so. It's all good. It's all love.
You know, I have no CDs over there.
CBs have been downsizing for the last 8 years. They do have and that is whatever the Pentagon is doing. We used to work hand in hand with CBs, being an engineer, up at Fort McCoy, at Great Lakes, what have you. But they've been restructuring and actually downsizing the active component CBs. And I think they moved that force structure over to the reserve side. But I do know they've been cutting what I call capacity capability.
Yeah, I know when we were doing the steam engine show, remember how many Navy guys we met, and there were a lot of them were CBs. They're like, well, we were country folks, and
Yeah, so it was interesting because like we started asking like, how are you? The guys, as units came out here, like they're all lived in the same area, so it's kind of unusual that they recruited so many people or took so many people from one city almost. I mean, it's the middle of farm country, and so like there must have been nobody under 18, you know, between 18 left in the town because they were all taken at the same time.
Oh, they offered them Kit Kats.
I'm
Or
like,
something. No, you get a free Kit Kat.
I'm like, was it a recruiting drive in town? They just come and park in town, like.
Won't have to bail.
What do you want to do?
Or it could be whiskey, you know.
You can just stay here in Bel Air. You can come join the Navy.
Yeah,
You can
don't
tell us
Bel
town.
Air.
And they all left. The whole senior class that year just left and went.
I do know that they are with daughter and son in the Navy. They're still filling some ranks in the CBs, but I'm seeing less and less on.
Yeah, I do know FORSCOM is expanding the reserve component engineer units. And my last one was underneath the 416th. Well, actually, it was a training, but the 416th Theater Engineer Command is huge footprint, 12,000 soldiers, and I had a brigade with him out of Fort Snelling, Minnesota, of about 5,000 troops I was responsible for. So we had 5 battalions underneath me. And at that time, it was a 1-star general and myself as the Command Sergeant Major were the command team. And then they took that billet away, and made it a 06, which is a kernel, full kernel, and it's a sergeant major. But I think they took one of the footprints of the battalions there and moved it out to California because my battalion out in California had way too many soldiers for the size of battalion organization. Usually you're 600 and 800, and we had 1,500. So they could easily put another flag out there, is what they did, and split it up, and now have 2 full, engineer battalions out there.
We should do a giveaway too.
Oh crap! It's already that time.
Was it time to quit?
Oh,
We're getting close.
getting close, wow.
Usually we're going to do a giveaway at the.
Uh-oh, trivia question.
Well, thanks very much for listening. Sorry I got long-winded.
all right. So, out of you two, who's got a good trivia question that you know the answer to?
Well, I got a lot
There's
of
4.
questions because I used to run so many
Yes.
boards, but
No, we haven't given away yet.
I'm not going to
Well, it'd be a bag of coffee, but your choice. We'll just show you what it looks like.
It's an awesome battleship.
Battleship.
Yes, that's my favorite one.
An awesome sticker.
Let's see if I can get it close enough. If I can get my old bones up there. At that. Jeez, it's like such a delay. Okay, there I am. See, I'm watching myself, and now I'm getting up.
A sticker of your choice.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Sticker of your choice. So we're watching, trying to get the delay.
Yeah. So.
I'll use a trivia question from a very famous movie out there,
All right.
Saving Private Ryan.
All right.
And the guy that was a clerk, I can't remember his name. I can't remember
You
his
have to
name.
know the answer to the question though too.
Well, I know the answer.
Okay.
The guy that was a clerk, he spoke German, he's a translator in Saving Private Ryan with the crew looking for Private Ryan. And he didn't know what FUBAR was. And he wanted to look it up in German. He says, is that a German word? And they just looked at him. So if you know what FUBAR is,
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows.
come on.
That should be easy.
Deutsch.
You should have first one to get the answer right.
All right, let's
We'll
see.
do one on Facebook and one on Instagram. So who on Facebook first to get it right, and on Instagram first to get it.
Does it count that I spoke German? And
Nice.
do I get to win?
No, because it's not a German word.
I keep on forgetting it's delayed, so
But
now
I
it's
took
not
German,
going.
so.
Did you unplug it?
No, it's just getting a little flashy.
Power go out?
You know what? It's a little hot, so
Oh, probably heating up.
it doesn't get used that much like this.
No. It does not.
One answer. Easy question.
I don't have anybody answering on Instagram.
Does that mean
Did they use the word snap food too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what that means?
Oh yeah. I know. what that
Snafu,
means.
FUBAR, and there's a couple other acronyms too. In fact, we got 2-letter, and then that wasn't enough. We went to 3-letter acronyms. Now we're at 4-letter, and now we're going to 5-letter acronyms. So if you got all those books,
Yep.
you're doing good.
So I know why it's taking long because I'm watching the close.
So,
So
yeah,
questions
that's what I
just
was
getting
just
out
going to
there.
say.
The question just hit out there.
Food bar is what it came up as.
Food bar?
Food bar.
I'm sorry,
FUBAR.
FUBAR.
Food bar is the buffets. So
FUBAR.
wow.
F-U-B-A-R.
Yep. F-U-B-A-R means something completely
F-U-B-A-R.
different.
I'm sorry.
All right, who knows what food bar means? Not food bar. We all know what
Are
that
we being
means.
phonetic? Food bar. If you're saying food bar, you need
If you
to go
guys
do
can
some
see the
PT.
closed captionings, ignore it. It's not even close to the vast majority of things
Yeah,
we're
I gotta
actually
take
saying.
that off of there.
Yeah, if you guys are thinking food bar, you need to go do some PT.
Yeah.
I know, I'll
Between
ask my
part-time.
phone to do something, and it'll do the complete opposite of what I asked, and I'm like, apparently I don't enunciate or speak
Gotta
very
work
well.
at it, yeah. Gotta learn English.
Let's see.
Oh, Adam got it right. Adam first on Facebook.
Good job,
Congrats,
Adam.
There you go, Adam.
Adam, you can swear on Facebook to us. It's okay. You don't have to put F.
Wait a minute, the Facebook police may get you there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it out there plenty of time on Facebook. I don't.
If
think
you
they're
want to say it out Deutsch or German, it's Frick or Fick.
Flicken Sie.
Send us your DM us your info.
Congratulations.
Good job,
Anybody
Adam.
on Instagram?
Let's see.
And it can't be Red Glare.
Nope, nobody on Instagram.
Yeah, or Mick Fustel, who's actually Mike from Red Glare. Like the cheese last time.
Are we out of time?
No, we still got
We
a few more minutes.
5 minutes. Anything you want to say in 5 minutes?
Well, I can say a trivia thing. Well, show me the side of your shirt. No, you.
Me?
Okay, see grunt style? And this is how long I've been in the military. The owner of that, the inventor, Drill Sergeant Daniel Alaric, is a good friend of mine, and he was one of my drill sergeants when he first got his cover or his pumpkin patch that we call it. And so I've had a lot of soldiers that I've trained over the years, and it's good to be in the military and be able to influence them towards a positive result. So hats off to Daniel for what he did, and driving troops and creating infantry soldiers to help this nation and do what he did.
Yeah.
Sounds-
I'm going to plug Whoopi Brothers. So Whoopi Brothers is a veteran-owned company, clothing apparel company, and they are currently doing a thing right now where if you buy their challenge coin, the proceeds from that go towards homeless vets. And they have cinch bags that they fill up with like socks and hygiene items and all of that good stuff to help them out.
I recognize
If you can get close to show, this is my personal coin.
Here, put it in there.
It's cool.
I'll take it out to the camera.
It's my personal retirement coin that I designed.
You might have to take it out of the
Yeah,
package.
you might have to.
in
Might
case
be
of
too
glare.
much glare.
In the studio here at the Gumbarrel Studio, all these
Put
perfect.
fingerprints on it.
Jesus. Can you see it?
I know. It's that
Can't see
delay,
it, so I'll
right?
just give you guys a little.
You're still standing up, so hold on. The delay.
So, I don't know how close. I don't know how close I get and still focusing. I can't see
You're
it.
literally doing something different in every screen.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it weird?
Which one is the right one?
Now it's gonna go
awesome.
to
It's like a time warp.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
So there's a built-in delay, huh?
We could just
Yeah,
predict
that's
what
awesome.
everybody's
I have
going
one
to
of those
do.
on my desk.
Yeah, I have one in my basement.
I wish I could read it.
You want my cheater? You want my
You want me to hold
cheaters?
it for you?
To me, I mean, this side's just like a bunch of dots. I bet it's awesome.
That's all the stars for 1 year.
That's awesome.
I
Best
think it's
rest,
going to be bigger.
best restaurant I ever went to. The first thing they put down on the table is a basket of cheaters for everybody at the table, so everybody can read the damn menu. So I have to share a pair of glasses
I
going
was,
around.
I was at a brief one time. I had my glasses out, you know, because I read the fine print because we want to put everything in one thing. And I set it down, and there was a colonel over here, and he had his own glasses, but he set them over here, and he didn't pick them back. He picked up mine, started chewing them. I go, sir, those are my glasses. Oh, sorry, buddy. Okay, I'm looking for teeth marks and stuff like that.
That's how you get coronavirus.
Oh, well,
It was before.
we have all the shots, you know, anthrax, everything.
Yeah.
All right.
There was never an answer on Instagram, just so you know.
No.
Well,
One letter
did-
today.
How many views were there?
On Instagram?
Yeah.
There's 2, and one of them's me.
Oh well, it's a very
Yeah, on
high.
Facebook.
Gotta drive them numbers up, get the word out.
And you're not.
These people are doing great things here. Thanks for having us, too.
Yes, we
Yeah, thank you
appreciate
guys.
the
Thank you.
opportunity.
If you guys don't know, it was Rolling Thunder reached out to us and gave us actually our first start. We did our first show ever was the Gun Bash.
Yeah,
it was the
it was,
first year of the
it
Gun
was.
Bash. Was
Yeah.
the first show we ever did. So that's just when we were starting. Nice enough to give us a start and let us come out there and event. So that was good for us.
I usually, and Tim too, and Sal and Brian, and obviously you, we throw our hats in and try to help out all these small veteran-owned businesses, especially in the Tri-City area. And we really pumped that because they seem to have a good work ethic and their heart's into what they're doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't have started the business. So help your local veteran businesses. They're the ones that need help.
Well, we should do our shot.
And if you've got a moment, I'd like to plug a ride that's coming up.
Yeah, please.
August 1st, for those of you that are local here, Christopher Patterson Memorial Foundation.
Yes.
Chris is a young soldier that was KIA Afghanistan January 6, 2012. His family I've become very, very dear friends with. Dad is a retired Navy chief. Mom was in the Navy. Chris was in the Army. He was actually a student at Valpo. His squadron got called up, and his commander said, "You don't have to go." I said, "Well, sir, with all due respect." So I signed up for him. My squadron's going. They were there 2 months. Humvee hit, explosive device. 4 out of 5 of the soldiers were killed. And another sidebar to that is their youngest son, Carl, for those Marines out there, actually finished his crucible on the day his brother was killed. So this is a family that has given everything to this country. So if you want to come out and participate, motorcycle, car, whatever, it's August 1st. I don't have the website in front of me, but it's Christopher Patterson Memorial Foundation. It'll be August 1st out of Emmanuel Lutheran Church here in Batavia, and we will have 2 squad cars from North Aurora Police Department there. And for those of you local know that about 31 from Mooseheart down is Specialist Christopher Patterson Memorial Highway. And all those funds go to 100% of it goes to funds to Christmas for God, for country, for music, and it goes to those disciplines.
Awesome. Awesome. So we'll check that out, look it up. We'll try to put a link to that as well. That's the first Saturday in August.
So you want to do a shot?
Yeah. let's do the
Okay,
shot,
so I turned Sal and Brian on to Osbach, which is great, which I had in
Amazing.
Germany when I was over there for 3 years. And they infuse it into the coffee called Sergeant Major coffee. So if you get this Sergeant Major brand coffee, in honor of me, it's infused with Osbach. Tastes great.
It comes
This
out
is
October 15th or
this-
16th.
This is a screwball whiskey, and it's for the malcontent, black sheep, and otherwise screwballs is what the label says.
That makes all of us.
And it's peanut butter flavored whiskey, and it goes down too good. So
God, it smells
salute.
good.
Thanks for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Keeping
guys.
awareness.
Thank you for your support and all that you guys do.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I can have an afternoon of that.
I'm on 2 wheels, so I can't.
Yep, I get that. The problem with that is you start.
I'm on 2 feet, so I can't.
That's awesome. Oh.
I
Awesome.
know, it's
That
sweet.
is good. I'll have to check with my son. He did 2 deployments to
Put
Greece.
mine in the top here.
See if he had any of it while he was over in Greece.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, what's in Greece? What's that wine?
Ouzo?
Ouzo, yeah.
So that's not wine.
Oh, yeah. it's-
That's hallucinogenic stuff. Let me tell you. When I was stationed in Germany, I got turned on at a reforger with ouzo, and that stuff, the stuff we get in Europe, is not filtered or purity laws like we have in the States. So they brought this out after the reforger, and this stuff is worse than mushroom juice that I can understand. Whatever mushroom juice does to you, but it was bad.
Yeah, that's what
Straight
makes you
ouzo.
feel like flammable.
In fact, in Germany at Rosenmontag during Fasching, I got introduced to Bacardi 151.
Oh,
Oh,
From Class 6 or
Also
and me and
flammable.
my German friend from the Bundeswehr, we were sitting there watching the parade, and it was very gorgeous parades, and we're doing swigs back and forth. There's 150. Well, we finished the bottle, but by the time the bottle was done, we were in the gutter looking up, watching the parade going by. And I finally focused that the label said, "Do not put near flame, open flame high." Oh man, this is rocket fuel.
How about
And he
Everclear?
goes, "Yeah."
Oh,
Yeah, worst one I ever had was Everclear.
Everclear's bad. Good than Jello shots though.
Yeah, but when you see it,
Watermelon.
when you see it going down the label and taking the ink off the label, you know it's
just doing it to your
Fingernail polish
inside.
remover, huh?
yeah.
I think everybody has one drink where they're just like, oh God, no, never again.
Oh Lord.
Oh my
I
gosh,
like
we
my
did
where's that
one.
Malort last
So we
week?
said we were drinking Malort last week.
It feels like you're being lit on fire from the inside.
The one I don't like was in Switzerland. I had it's called grappa, and
Grappa?
they take the skins off the grapes. And
Yeah,
stuff. It's
like
like
Italian
white
grape.
lightning. It's worse than white lightning. In fact, it competes with white lightning in my book. Have that. You have like 3 shots of that, and it's like.
Goes down easy.
Depends on how traumatized
You don't wanna mix it
you are
with
from
it.
the
Good
previous
white
one.
lightning goes down easy.
Oh, white lightning, yes.
Oh, white-
Grappa does it. And I think the Dutch have one very similar to it called Geneva. Genève.
I'm sure every country has their.
Yeah.
Yeah, their version of White Lightning.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in again. We'll see you next week, Saturday, again. We have a guest coming from Vet Park, which is a pretty awesome organization. How about that? Thank you again to Taking News.
Salute to you all. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank
And,
you for being here again.
Godspeed and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you guys out there for watching.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys.
All right,
Still a
so
little more if you guys want some.
I have
take a
to
taste.
connect you with my friend Lucas, who runs